It's not an award, it's a recognition. You have to reward winners. It's about making a difference.
I wound up having so much extra produce, I decided to give it to the food pantry.
And I said, well, from this day forward, I will make sure you get a meal every day.
Is this why we became doctors? Is this why we want to help people?
If we just had a few more people, maybe we could start an organization for the blind.
It was just the affirmation that what we're doing is making a difference.
You never know what will inspire other people from that first act of generosity. I call it the ripple effect. The person who becomes a recipient of Russ's Generosity for the Make a Difference Awards, they in turn create their own ripples in their community.
I had seen the effects of community gardening in other cities and urban areas. I had volunteered at a community garden organization, and I wanted to take that back to an area near where I grew up where there was nothing like that going on. I really think that access to healthy food should be a right for everybody. I think that regardless of your income, you should have access to farm fresh, local food. There's so much of it right here in New Jersey. It's just not in the urban areas, which are more and more densely populated every year. The work we do is primarily in Paterson and Jersey City, and we do a lot of school gardening and vacant lot community gardening. But here on the farm, we're able to have 3 acres of organic vegetable production. And so we have markets in Paterson, in Clifton, in Passaic, where we're able to sell this food that we grow here. I think it's really important for people to be empowered to make change in their own community. And so, to me, community gardening and greening efforts really accomplish those goals.
As a brand new teacher, what surprised me the most was the fact that children were reading at 2nd and 3rd grade reading levels that were in high school, and their deficiencies in math was also below the 5th grade level. So you're starting to question yourself, what went wrong in the system that created this problem? Something needs to change. This is unacceptable, and we approached the superintendent with that message, and it gave us opportunity to basically open up one of the schools in the South Ward. He took it over and basically infused high expectations into a culture. We are entering our 6th year. We have had 5 years of consistent growth. Each year we have gone higher in our test scores, which is unheard of for a school in the South Ward. If you give a child a quality education, they can make the life choices that would determine what they want to do in their life. Aviation, they want to open their own plumbing company, they want to be a contractor, they want to be a doctor. Giving them those options that they want to do and giving them the skills to make the choice, which is what we believe.
About 14 years ago, I was involved in volunteering at a free clinic in Neptune, New Jersey, and we were actually in a trailer. The clinic that I was volunteering at moved to a strip mall, and the trailer was just sitting there and didn't have a home. So my pastor and I, we talked about bringing a free clinic into Freehold because we saw that there was a need in the Freehold community. So we moved the trailer and we began a free clinic there. And we outgrew it in a year. And now we're at a strip mall, so we've been here for the last 10 years. People who do not get insurance, they're free to come here because we do not charge. All our services are free. Some volunteers who've been with me for 10 years, we have a gift of healing. You know, we're all medical personnel, and we're able to give back a little of what we know. Volunteerism is a good thing, and if people can think of something that they could do to make a difference, they should make a difference. Even if it's, one day a week or a couple of hours a week, no matter how small you think it is probably great in someone else's eyes.
We're the Mawa Environmental Volunteers Organization. I started the organization when I was 16 years old because my best friends and I had recently started hiking, and we fell in love with the beauty of the natural environment. We wanted to connect more young people, more kids our age, to the natural world, and since then we've grown a lot. We've built hiking trails all over northern New Jersey and lower New York State. We've started to build organic farms and raise fresh organic produce that we donate to hunger organizations. We've done things like electronic recycling drives, distributing recycling bins and rain barrels to schools, community groups, and not-for-profits, as well as doing educational programs in schools. We want to show people a model for how they can make social change in their community, how they can take action to address environmental problems on the local level that affect the global level. You can build a community farm in your county, in your town, near your house that can help thousands of people that maybe didn't have that opportunity before, and grow food to feed hundreds of people that don't have access to it. These environmental problems of our generation aren't unsolvable, but the key thing to do is to take action. Action is the solution, and that's what we try to show people how to do to take action for a better future.
Well, we started this organization because of the need of the immigrants community here. With the immigration, we have a lot of people. We service maybe 1,300 people a year. When we started the organization, it helped immigrants with the legal status. And we started to create the English classes as second language. One of the good program we have is the Empower Women's. Those women come from another country with a lot of problems. We listen and we, give it love. Good part of this organization is running most of the program by volunteers. Open the door to everyone and be a family. And then you see the smiling, that is the reward we receive.
I go to a soup kitchen first time in my life as a chaperone in one of the richest town in New Jersey, and we feed like 200 plus people. And I was literally shocked. They live in my backyard and I have no idea that they exist. As part of my tradition, I'm not supposed to go to bed if my neighbor is hungry. Now I'm working with most of the soup kitchens, which are mostly run by churches and synagogues. So this became a learning experience for myself, working with all different faiths, because hunger has no religion. The program evolved into Faiths Against Hunger now, because I'm working with all different faiths and engaging them. It's not about food. It's about education, engaging ourselves, engaging communities, bringing them together. There's a big talk about interfaith dialogue, and guess what? This is the best dialogue.
I graduated from Youth Build Boston many years ago, and it was during my time at Youth Build Boston that I decided that I wanted to found a Youth Build program. We sort of engage young people in finding dilapidated housing and rebuilding a block, one house at a time. These are young people who have been disproportionately suspended, have had interactions with law enforcement, may have some substance abuse issues, may be aging out of DIFUS. So needless to say, they've had some challenges, and we see ourselves as just an anchor. We just have to be there, and it's like riding a bike. We just kind of guide them, and most of the times it's the young people doing the work themselves. It's not us. We're just a guidepost. Young people being able to learn how to do something that nobody can ever take from you, and that you can feed your family with that skill is really, really, really powerful. I knew I wanted to do this, and the Youth Build model prepared me to do this. This is all I ever wanted to do.
Camp Acorn is a social program for children and adults with disabilities. It grew much faster than I was probably ready for. 14 years ago, I had the opportunity to create Camp Acorn. There's a lot of children who have different layers of issues, difficulties, and they need a special place where people really understand them and can appreciate who they are as individuals. And that's what the focus of Camp Acorn is about. We don't necessarily look at the disability, we're looking at the ability. This is their place, and it's a place where it's total acceptance and love. They're growing, they're learning, they're experiencing things maybe for the first time, or maybe we're building on skills from school and home so that they can be as independent as possible. And they have real friendships. And the fact that we really are a family has made this a really special place, and I'm privileged and fortunate enough to work with so many wonderful people.
It's called a Make a Difference Award, and it's incredibly special. They talk about honoring people who are in the communities, working at the grassroots level. You spend so much time accomplishing the work that you don't really think about being recognized, and when you are, it just validates what you're doing, you know, to have somebody recognize it as an important contribution.